And now we see these climate-related extreme weather events virtually every day. Every night on the news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation.
Rescue teams are searching for hundreds of people left stranded or feared missing, a day after a strong earthquake hit southwestern China. At least 66 people are now known to have died when the 6.8 magnitude quake struck Sichuan province. Millions of people in the region were already dealing with a COVID-related lockdown. The BBC's Azadeh Mashiri has this report.
This is what a 6.8 magnitude earthquake looks like. And this is what's left of the towns it hit in southwestern China's Sichuan province. Rescue teams have been deployed to find survivors. Some trapped under toppled buildings. Authorities say dozens have been killed and warned hundreds of people are still stranded or missing.
We'll continue to seize every minute and second to rescue the injured and check the disaster situation. Carry out rescue work in a scientific and efficient way so as to ensure the injured people are transferred and treated as quickly as possible.
For those still under a strict COVID lockdown, there was no escape from the buildings they've been confined to. And away from urban areas, landslides have destroyed roads and created several obstacles for rescue teams. It's made getting survivors to safety challenging. Teams have sometimes had to use makeshift bridges to carry people through.
Tonight, Hurricane Fiona slamming Puerto Rico with powerful winds and flooding rain, knocking out the fragile power grid. Now, an island-wide blackout. 1.5 million customers without electricity. The Category 1 hurricane making landfall with sustained winds of 85 miles per hour, knocking down trees and power lines, expected to dump up to 2 feet of rain. high winds ripping the roof off the structure, tearing it to shreds. Julito Cirino says he was sleeping when the winds tore the roof off his house. The storm dumping torrential rain across much of the island. Watch as raging floodwaters sweep away this bridge, reportedly newly constructed after Hurricane Maria. President Biden declaring a state of emergency, the governor of Puerto Rico calling the damage catastrophic, but earlier saying they were ready with enough resources to respond.
This storm is going to affect the whole island one way or another, specifically the southern part here. What is your biggest concern right now for Puerto Rico?
I don't want any loss of life here. Once that's taken care of, then restoring the electric service.
Fiona arriving nearly 5 years ago to the day as Maria, which killed nearly 3,000 people.
Still so fresh in everyone's mind.
Otra vez 19 de septiembre.
La verga, temblando rudísimo,
Se acaba de vivir un temblor aquí. ¿Están todos bien, güey, aquí? No, güey, es esta cascada, güey. Deja, pido ayuda, güey. Sí.
No, mames. Arre.
Torrential rain and wind gusts up to 85 miles an hour battered the Dominican Republic on Monday as Hurricane Fiona made its way through the Caribbean. It made landfall overnight, leaving behind a path of destruction for residents to wake up to.
It destroyed everything. Everything has been affected. It all has to be rebuilt. All this.
The Category 1 hurricane battered Puerto Rico on Sunday, triggering a total power outage and killing at least one person. Up to 30 inches of rain was recorded in some areas, producing catastrophic flooding. Downed trees and mudslides have cut off access to some roads, and many are without basic necessities.
We're looking for gasoline, water, ice, all the supplies necessary for getting through this. We were hoping it wouldn't be so big, but well, it was bigger than we expected, and you have to make do with what you have.
Fiona is now making its way north, gathering strength as forecasters predict it will become a Category 3. Turks and Caicos Islands is under a hurricane warning, and the Bahamas is bracing for tropical storm conditions in the coming day.
Hurricane Ian made landfall in Cuba this morning as a Category 3 storm. Florida is now preparing for the hurricane to make landfall. Forecasts can change, but for now, the experts say this could be a very severe hurricane, life-threatening and a devastating disease.
Aftermath of Hurricane Fiona and its lasting impact on Puerto Rico. More than a week after the storm hit, the island electric utility says more than 2/3 of its customers' power has now been restored. But as Laura Barón Lopez reports, for the hundreds of thousands still in the dark, patience is wearing thin.
The hum of generators and the remains of people's lives stacked outside their homes filled the streets of Yauco in southwest Puerto Rico on Monday, 8 days after Hurricane Fiona made landfall.
We spent a week without water or power. The authorities haven't done anything for us. We are in rough shape. We lost everything.
That sense of desperation was also evident in the long lines at gas stations across the island. People continued to fill up cans to fuel generators powering their lights, water pumps, refrigerators, and more.
My generator and my fridge are broken. Many things broke down. I had to throw away over 100 pesos in food yesterday. That's really awful.
And there's growing anger with the island's power operator, Luma Energy, for moving slowly to restore power to the hundreds of thousands of people still in the dark.
You know how this goes. There's no money, and what happens to us? What happens with Luma? What happens with the governor? They do nothing. We are abandoned here. We don't even have water. They don't send water to our neighborhoods. Nothing.
Fiona hit 5 years after Hurricane Maria, a Category 5 storm with winds over 100 miles per hour, killing thousands. Fiona was just a Category 1 storm, but its flooding has devastated the island, washing away bridges, ruining homes and cars, and initially leaving more than 1 million Americans without electricity. In Caguas, in central Puerto Rico, Maria Nieves Martinez showed us around her house as she cleaned up what was left.
Everything got ruined. I don't have the boxes to throw them away because everything got ruined. All of this is garbage. Even this new air conditioner we bought that we were going to install got damaged. Everything got wet. This was too much.
Because of the continued blackouts, Martinez said her groceries have gone bad multiple times, and the power failures are hurting the island's most vulnerable residents.